Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Nighttime Mics. I'm Mike, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend Sarah. How's it going, Sarah?
Hey, Mike. I'm doing great, thanks. I'm really excited about today's topic because honestly, I've been thinking about it all week. It's something we all need, but we don't always talk about enough.
I know exactly what you mean. We're talking about short trips, those little weekend getaways, or even just day trips that help us survive the work week. I feel like lately everyone is obsessed with these massive 2-week vacations to the other side of the world, but there's something special about just packing a small bag and heading out for 48 hours.
Totally. I think long vacations are great, don't get me wrong, but they can be so stressful to plan. You have to save up for months, you have to request off from work way in advance, and then you're exhausted when you get back. Short trips are, well, they're just easier, aren't they?
Exactly. It's like a reset button. You don't have to break the bank to do it. Speaking of which, I actually went on a tiny trip last weekend, just a quick drive to that lake about 2 hours north of here.
Oh, really? I've heard about that place. How was it? Did you actually manage to relax?
I did, though I almost didn't make it. I had to figure out how to fit my camping gear into my tiny car. It was like playing a game of Tetris. I almost gave up and stayed home, but I'm so glad I pushed through.
No way. See, that's the thing about short trips. The getting ready part has to be fast, or else it feels like too much work for just 2 days. I usually try to come up with a list on Friday morning so I can just grab everything and go as soon as I finish work.
That's smart. I'm more of a throw things in a pile and hope for the best kind of guy. It usually turns out okay, but I did forget my pillow this time. I had to use a rolled up hoodie. Not my best idea.
Ouch, my neck hurts just thinking about that. But honestly, that's part of the fun, isn't it? The little stories you get from these spontaneous moments. I feel like when I go on a big planned vacation, everything is so scheduled. You have to be at the museum at 10, then lunch at 1, then the tour at 3. On a short trip, you can just be.
I agree 100%. I love the freedom. If I see a weird roadside attraction or a cool looking cafe, I can just pull over. There's no pressure to see everything because you know you're only there for a bit. It's about the vibe, not the checklist.
The vibe over the checklist. I like that. I should put that on a t-shirt. But tell me, Mike, do you think it's better to go somewhere you know or somewhere completely new for a short trip?
That's a tough one. I think it depends. If I'm really stressed and just want to shut my brain off, I go to a place I've been to a dozen times. I know where the good coffee is, I know the roads, it's comfortable. But if I'm feeling bored with life, I need to find somewhere new. What about you?
I'm definitely in the somewhere new camp, even if it's just a town 30 miles away that I've never explored. I love that feeling of being a tourist in my own backyard. Last month, I took a train to that small historic village, the one with the old clock tower.
Oh, I know the one. It's very Instagrammable, right?
Exactly. But I didn't go for the photos. I just wanted to walk around. I ended up finding this tiny bookstore that also served homemade soup. It was so quiet and cozy. I stayed there for 3 hours just reading. If I were on a big trip in Paris or London, I'd feel guilty for wasting 3 hours in a bookstore. But because it was just a Saturday afternoon trip, it felt like the perfect way to spend my time.
That sounds amazing. I think we often forget that travel doesn't have to mean crossing an ocean. Sometimes we just need a change of scenery. It's funny how a different zip code can make your problems feel a little smaller.
That's so true. It's like you're stepping out of your life for a second. You know what I struggle with, though? The Sunday scaries. Do you ever get those when you're on a short trip and it's Sunday afternoon and you realize you have to go back to reality in a few hours?
Oh, they're the worst. I usually start feeling them around 3 p.m. I'll be sitting there enjoying a nice view, and then suddenly my brain goes, "Hey Mike, don't forget you have that big meeting on Monday morning." It really brings you down.
I know, right? It's hard to stay in the moment. I've tried to come up with a way to fix that. Now I try to make my Sunday evening part of the trip. Instead of rushing home to do laundry and prep for work, I'll find a nice place to eat dinner on the way back. It makes the trip feel a little longer.
That's a great tip. I usually just rush home and then feel sad while I look at my photos. I should definitely try your way. I also think the mode of transport matters. You mentioned taking the train. I love trains for short trips. You can actually look out the window and relax. Driving is fine, but sometimes traffic can just ruin the mood.
Oh, tell me about it. Traffic is the ultimate vibe killer. I once tried to do a quick beach trip on a holiday weekend. It took 4 hours to get there and 5 hours to get back. I spent more time in my car than on the sand.
No way, that's the worst. At that point, you're more stressed when you get home than when you left. Did you at least get a tan?
Nope, it rained the whole time I was there. I just sat in a cafe under a rainy umbrella drinking lukewarm tea.
Okay, that sounds like a disaster. But hey, at least you have a funny story now. That's another thing about short trips. Even when they go wrong, it's not a huge deal because it was only a day or two. If a 2-week vacation is ruined by rain, it's heartbreaking. If a Saturday is rainy, you just find a cool indoor spot and move on.
Exactly. It's low stakes. You don't have to put so much pressure on it to be perfect. By the way, Mike, what are your must-haves for a short trip? If you had to pack in 5 minutes, what are you grabbing?
Oh, easy. A good pair of walking shoes because I hate having sore feet, my noise-canceling headphones for the journey, a portable charger, and honestly, a physical map.
A physical map? Are you living in the 1990s? What's wrong with your phone?
I know. It sounds old-fashioned, but I've been in too many places where the GPS just dies or I lose signal. Plus, there's something really satisfying about unfolding a big map and pointing to a spot. It feels like a real adventure. What about you?
I'm a bit more modern. I need my Kindle because I can't travel without a book. I also always bring a light jacket, even in summer, because you never know if the AC in a cafe or on a train is going to be freezing. And a reusable water bottle. Staying hydrated is key.
Very practical. I like it. You know, I was reading this article the other day that short trips can actually be better for your mental health than one long vacation. Apparently, the happiness boost we get from planning a trip is the same regardless of how long the trip is.
That's interesting. So you're saying we should plan more small trips to get that planning high more often?
Precisely. If you take 4 short trips a year, you get that excitement 4 times. If you only take 1 big trip, you only get it once. It's like spreading the joy throughout the year.
That makes so much sense. I definitely feel a lift in my mood as soon as I book a hotel or a train ticket. Even if the trip is just to a town 2 hours away, I start looking forward to it immediately. It gives you something to talk about at work, too.
Oh, definitely. It's much more interesting than saying, oh, this weekend I just watched Netflix and did laundry. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I went to a mountain village and tried the best cheese of my life sounds way cooler.
It really does. Although I've had some pretty great weekends just staying in my own city. Have you ever done a staycation?
You know, I haven't really. I always feel like I need to leave my apartment to feel like I'm on a trip. If I stay home, I just see the dishes that need washing or the light bulb I need to change. How do you make a staycation feel like a real trip?
It's all about the rules. You have to pretend you don't live there. I'll book a room in a nice boutique hotel in a part of the city I rarely visit. I won't allow myself to do any chores. I'll go to the museums I usually ignore because I can go anytime. And I'll eat at restaurants I've had on my must-try list for years.
That actually sounds brilliant. You save money on gas or flights and you spend it on a really nice dinner instead.
Exactly. And you don't have the stress of travel. You just hop in an Uber or on the subway, and 10 minutes later, you're on vacation. It's a great way to fall in love with your city again.
I might have to try that. I always overlook the touristy stuff in my own city. I haven't been to the local art gallery in about 5 years, and people fly from all over the world to see it.
See? You're a tourist in denial. You should definitely check it out. But back to traveling away from home. Do you find it hard to unplug on short trips? You know, like checking your emails or scrolling through social media?
It's a struggle for sure, especially because I use my phone for photos and navigation. It's so easy to see a notification and think, oh, I'll just check this one thing. Before I know it, I've spent 20 minutes looking at work stuff. I've started turning off my work notifications on Friday nights. It helps a lot.
That's a good move. I try to leave my phone in my bag as much as possible. I want to look at the trees, not the screen. I've noticed that if I'm constantly taking photos to post on Instagram, I'm not actually experiencing the moment. I'm just curating it.
Curating the moment. Man, Sarah, you're full of deep thoughts today. But you're right. Sometimes the best parts of a trip are the ones you don't have photos of. Like that time I saw a deer right outside my tent at 6 a.m. My phone was off, so I just sat there and watched it for 5 minutes. It was so peaceful.
That sounds magical. If you had reached for your phone, the deer probably would have run away. Those are the memories that stay with you.
For sure. So, if someone listening is feeling stuck and wants to plan a short trip this weekend, what's your best advice for them?
I'd say don't overthink it. Don't spend hours searching for the perfect destination. Just pick a direction, find a place with a decent coffee shop or a nice park, and go. The goal isn't to find the most amazing place on earth. The goal is just to change your environment.
I love that. My advice would be to pack light. Nothing ruins a short trip like lugging around a huge suitcase. Just a backpack with the essentials. It makes you feel so much more mobile and free. If you can't fit it in a backpack, you probably don't need it for 48 hours.
So true. I used to be such an overpacker. I'd bring 3 pairs of shoes for a 2-day trip. Now I'm much better. 1 pair on my feet, maybe some flip-flops if there's a pool, and that's it.
Look at you becoming a pro traveler.
I'm trying. It's a process. But honestly, even if you forget something, you can usually buy it there. It's not like you're going to the moon.
Exactly. Unless your short trip is to the moon, in which case, please invite us.
Can you imagine the Sunday scaries coming back from the moon? That would be a long flight home.
Yeah, the moon was cool, but I've got to get back to these spreadsheets on Monday. No thanks.
Right? Anyway, Mike, I think we've covered a lot. Short trips really are the unsung heroes of travel.
They really are. They're affordable, they're flexible, and they keep us sane.
They really do. I'm already starting to think about where I can go next weekend. I think there's a small coastal town I've been meaning to check out. They're supposed to have the best fish and chips in the country.
Oh, now you're talking my language. You'll have to let me know if it lives up to the hype.
I will. I'll bring you back a souvenir, or at least a photo of the fish and chips.
I'll hold you to that. Well, I think that's about all the time we have for today. This was such a fun conversation.
It really was. Thanks for joining me, Mike, and thanks to everyone listening to Nighttime Mikes. We hope this inspired you to look at a map, pick a spot, and just get away for a bit.
Definitely. You don't need a lot of time or money to have an adventure, just a bit of curiosity and maybe a good playlist for the road.
Exactly. Before we go, do you have any final thoughts, Sarah? Just that life is short, so make your weekends feel long. Go explore somewhere new, even if it's just the next town over. You won't regret it.
Perfect. Well said. Thanks again, Sarah.
Thanks, Mike. See you next time.
See ya. And to all our listeners, stay curious and keep exploring. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
You know, Sarah, as we were talking, I just remembered one of my favorite short trips ever. It wasn't even a full weekend. It was just a micro trip.
A micro trip? What's that, like a trip for ants?
Not quite. I basically just finished work on a Tuesday, drove to the mountains to watch the sunset, had a quick dinner at a diner, and drove back. I was home by 10 p.m. It felt like I had been gone for days because it was such a break from my normal routine.
That's actually a really cool idea. It's like a mini vacation in the middle of the week. I think we often wait for the weekend to do anything fun, but why not do something on a Tuesday?
Right? It breaks up the monotony. The only downside was that I was a little tired on Wednesday morning, but the mental reset was totally worth it. I felt so much more productive the next day.
I can see that. It's like giving your brain a little treat. I might try that next week. There's a beautiful park about 45 minutes from my office. I could go there after work, have a picnic, and just enjoy the fresh air before heading home.
You totally should. It's all about those small moments. We spend so much of our lives waiting for the big things, the big promotion, the big vacation, the big move. But life is mostly made of the small stuff.
That's a beautiful way to put it, Mike. A bit poetic for a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I get like that sometimes. But seriously, I think the more we can appreciate the short versions of things, the happier we'll be, whether it's a short trip, a short walk, or even just a short conversation with a friend.
I agree. It's about quality over quantity. Well, I think we should probably wrap it up for real now before I start getting too philosophical, too.
Fair point. Let's save the deep philosophy for the next episode.
Sounds like a plan. Bye for now.
Bye. Don't forget to pack your light jacket.
I won't. Take care.